Welcome to Zen in a Moment, episode 52 with Zen Crier DeBrook. I have a lot of people that I see out in the world right now comparing themselves to others. I think social media has brought a lot of this into our lives, where we're measuring ourselves up against other people on a constant basis, for those of you who are engaged in that. I think it's a keeping up with the Jones thing if you're in an older age bracket like I am. And it's where, we look at what other people have and then we compare ourselves and we judge ourselves or put ourselves above other people by what we have. Well, I have this and they don't. There's all kinds of ways that we do that. And comparison is actually a really, really brutal thing to do to ourselves. It's something that can tear down your self-esteem, but it can also create a giant ego, especially if you're choosing things that you're going for in your life because somebody else has it or you've compared yourself to somebody else. And no, we all know that the people on the social media platforms, their lives are not perfect. I remember I was talking to one of my friends and their life looked perfect. Like they had this great place and they were home and they were doing all kinds of things outdoors and everything seemed amazing and the home was just fabulous. And then when I talked to her on the phone, I was like, congratulations on your new place. And she goes, well, I'm moving. I was like, why? It's such a fabulous place. And she goes, yeah, well, it's filled with mold and there's all this stuff going on and my family's getting sick. And I was like, that wasn't in any of your media posts. You're like talking about this, look what I get to do today. On this great piece of property. And I don't blame her for it. It's part of how social media works. And it seems like sometimes we believe that if we tell the truth when things are not going great, that there's some way that people will judge us, and they might, or that we'll get blamed for somehow creating, manifesting, or being in this place in the first place. And so we don't share. People don't share all that stuff. So you really don't even know if what you're comparing yourself to is real. That's very true. I mean, when I was a kid and we talk about keeping up with the Joneses and what they had and so forth, we would then find out the Joneses are getting a divorce, or he's been cheating, or she's been cheating, or whatever it is, or they're over leveraged and they're about to lose their house. And there's all these things that you find out that are under the hood that are going on inside their lives that really isn't something you'd want. So I love to use my internal guidance system to do what I call declare instead of compare. What do I mean by that? So we see things that we want. We see places in our life that we would like to have more or like to have something different, right? And so I personally don't have the comparison issues with my beauty or my body or any of those things. But I would love to be more muscular and in better shape, especially moving into my mid-50s. I really want to make sure that I'm taking really good care of this body. I've got a lot of stuff I want to do in my lifetime. And so what I'll do is if I see something where I find myself comparing myself to someone else's success or somebody else's what they have or their relationship or any of those things, how great they are with their kids, whatever it is. I will look at that, and if it opens me that is for me, I will declare it. Oh, I want that. I want that. I want to have that level of physical fitness. I want to have that level of connection with my kids or my husband. I want to be able to impact as many people as they are impacting. It could be as simple as a few weeks ago, I started buying vintage ski sweaters. We're living in a ski town now, and I really love the old style ski sweaters. And if you've ever gone shopping for ski sweaters, these things are like anywhere from $150 to $350. Not my thing. And I know they're good and all of that, but I just can't. 4 sweaters is $1,000 or more. No, thank you. So I started searching online And the way I got into this was I saw a couple people wearing these gorgeous wool winter ski sweaters. And I went looking online to find something, and I declared that I want that. I want that beautiful look. Ski sweaters that are well designed have a great look about them. They're very sleek. And I found them. I declared when I saw it that I want that in my wardrobe. So I made a declaration that I wanted that in my life. And I found myself some great discounted, used, vintage, stunning sweaters. This works with anything in your life. Claim it, declare it, that you want that. Because in the comparison energy, there's lack. There's the, I don't have that. I don't measure up to that. You're putting out into the world, not being good enough, not having the energy to create that in your life. And that's not true. This subtle shift has brought more things into my life than I could ever even list. Now, I don't ruminate on it. I don't sit there and ruminate on when's it coming, how's it going to get here. I declare it and then I go on with my life. I let it go. And that's the other piece. So the comparing doesn't continue to stay with me hour after hour, day after day, because I made the declaration, the declaring, and then I get to go on with my life. Because I know that in doing that, I've set something in motion. That or something better will occur. So as we're going through this next few weeks of your life, notice all the comparing. Notice all the places of envy, because envy, as I've said before, is always something that you could have for yourself but are not declaring. All right. I hope you have a fantastic day. I am sending you love and blessings. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my Zen in the Moment mini pods. I'm on a mission to eliminate mental fear in the human species. I truly know that the closing of our internal guidance systems is letting each and every human being on the planet know that what they're thinking is out of alignment with what is going to create love, harmony, compassion, discernment, and peace. And that if we all learn to follow our internal guidance system, discover our openings, we will be in flow and in harmony together, and we can create the world that we love. Now, this is not something we can do by ourselves. That is why I have created the Fear-Free Human Collective. The collective is a community of people who've come together to get training on how to use their internal guidance system. It is an amazing experience to be with a group of people who are looking at their closings, taking responsibility for them, and then working together to find openings. Because when those openings happen, magic and synchronicity are the norm. If you are interested in having a group of people who are going through this experience together and are changing their worlds to where, miracles become the norm and we can celebrate them together as we have an extraordinary life by influencing people with our opening and our love and our compassion, that I want to invite you to go to BeFearFreeNow.com, BeFearFreeNow.com, and become a member. We have a free level, a level that is $27, $47, and $97, depending on how deep you want to go with the training and how much coaching access you'd like to have, and to be in a group with me, to be able to be in a discussion with me on how are we going to make this happen on this beautiful, exquisite planet we live on. So please come check it out. I'd love to have you join the fun. Join us all at BeFearFreeNow.com. Thanks so much. I'm sending you love and blessings. Bye for now.